ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlands or Bust. I just had to turn off the external speakers that I had left on accidentally, so perhaps you got a little bit of an echoey Wolfie woof right there, but welcome back to Farlands or Bust. It is very convenient that we already have a stairwell here, and a creeper who is making his way here. Alright, so let us not delay. Let us give him the old St. Louis sidestep. Walk around. Maybe we can blow up a sheep. Let's try to blow up a sheep, everybody. Mission accomplished! Mission accomplished. There should be an achievement for that. Sheep go boom. Sheep go boom indeed, and we go to the Farlands. Oh, hi. Yeah, I heard you. Gotta go. Wolfie, no. All right. So it's an attack you want. How about we blow up a cow? Let's blow up a cow. This is getting very dangerous. I'm getting a little bit overzealous in my abilities here. You better be jumping. You're about to be jumping. Are you not gonna... Whoa! Yeah, I'd say. Oh, okay. Well, we didn't blow up a cow. We just blew up my voice. But double creeper explosion all the way across the sky to start out episode 459. Woof of Farlands or Bust. And we will continue west towards those Farlands on Friday, March 13th, 2015. Friday the 13th. And look at this majestic and musical... Well, we'll find out if there's music over there, but this monumental, mostly mental landscape over here. Very cool indeed. But yes, this is Friday the 13th, and tomorrow is Pi Day. Ooh, 3.14 are all the digits I know. I don't even know the third digit. 3.14569 76309. No, yeah, no matter. Friday the 13th, we're continuing on here in Farlands Bus. Good to be back. Good to be back. I did indeed. For those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, what's wrong with you? No, but for those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, I was unable and unfortunately, obviously, unable to get Wednesday's episode recorded and up. I was busy. For reasons which will be revealed, a couple reasons, really, to be honest, that I've been a little bit busy. But these items, did a sheep just jump to his doom? These items are now beyond us and behind us. Yes, a sheep did, and we are looking forward to, or I am looking forward to, much less on the brain. Outside of the YouTubes and what I love doing here and spending more time doing this, we did have on Tuesday, however, oh neat. We did have on Tuesday a live stream. I'm liking the possibility of the Twitch Tuesday being the recurring settled upon theme, and I think we might go forward with that. I live streamed 2 hours of Besiege. I masked that with an actual burp. Besieged. And we played that for the first time ever, which I did indeed record, and will be uploading to YouTube shortly. So if you missed that live stream, it will be posted here on YouTube in its entirety. I always consider, maybe I should split it up, 2-hour video on YouTube. But it's probably just easiest if I just upload it all at once. I suppose the only negative to that is if people can't, obviously, watch the entire 2-hour video at once, they'll leave and lose their spot. But either way, we're gonna be doing that. This is a very dangerous way to go, Kurt. What are you doing, Kurt? Oh, well, actually, we should probably go upstairs. So we did that. So if you do want to keep up with that stuff, twitch.tv/KurtJMac, Twitch Tuesday. Haven't nailed down a specific time frame, but we'll keep consistent with that. Fingers crossed. Even though I'm the only one who can actually control that. So Twitch Tuesdays, look forward to that. Oh God, I forgot. I was all thrown about. I was thrown asunder, thrown under the bus. by those two creepers. Those two creepers that kind of distracted me at the beginning. And I forgot to mention how much money we've raised for Child's Play charity. $32,524.74. I think that's another $300. I think we started last episode with 32 too. So $32,524 raised for Child's Play charity this season, Season 5 of Farlands of Bust. I do appreciate it. All the donations, all these questions that come in with the donations are much appreciated as well. It wasn't a short while ago that I said, I've run out of questions, people, help me out. Oh, you certainly have. And now I have a list, a scrolling list on my secondary monitor here to read through and answer, and we'll get to those momentarily. Speaking of YouTube and schedules, March 28th, I checked, March 28th is the 4-year anniversary of episode 11 of Farlands or Bust. That episode 11, for those of you who might be new or unaware or haven't gone back to check, is the episode that I decided I packed my bags and left my spawn area on the beginning of the journey to the Farlands, and have been continuing pretty much ever since. So I feel like, conveniently, March 28th is a Saturday as well, so I feel like if you want to pencil in or use erasable ink, Saturday, March 28th, for not a Flobathon, because we still haven't raised $50,000 for Season 5 of Farlands of Bust for Child's Play charity, but a kind of a live stream anniversary celebration. I feel maybe we'll do a live episode of Farlands of Bust, kind of a quasi-test for Flobathon, but then we'll switch out and play some other games, and maybe even, have some little Easter egg treats, little treats. I'll throw Smarties, candies at you at the screen, and we'll do some fun stuff like there. So yeah, March 28th for that Twitch stuff for Farlands of Bust, and then otherwise Twitch Tuesday is kind of the theme I'm going for. It's very original naming conventions I have going on here. But yeah, and that actually reminded me, I was looking through my YouTube comments. I look through them. I can't reply to them because I'm one of the last samurai who has remained on the YouTube without creating a Google Plus profile. Therefore, even though I am a content creator, a publisher of videos, cannot comment on my own videos. So I do read the comments. Worry not. I can't reply to them. But I did see this one from Megan, who says, I love how he's just like, subquotes, I heard the Farlands are cool, so let's get going. And then he just starts a 3-year-long journey with enough supplies for a few weeks at most. Yeah, I've really never thought of that. Specifically, like I said, it was hard to put myself in the frame of mind of the first episodes of Farlands of Bust. But it was a very lackadaisy, not really even giving it an afterthought, kind of just an idea. Let's try walking to the Farlands. I obviously, I knew I didn't really see anybody else doing this. I knew it was a unique idea, so for YouTube-wise, it was intriguing to me at least, and I figured, well, it'll, maybe some people will find this interesting for a little bit, but I never at all imagined it would continue for 3 years, let alone the YouTube thing would continue for 3 years, or that I would do it full time and I would quit my job and be able to go to conventions and sign autographs for people. Is still bonkers and bizarre, and people making fan art and discussing things and comments, and it's a whirlwind, a very slow 3-4 year whirlwind, but the whirlwind is whirling always towards freedom. And yeah, it was just one of those. If you had told me back then that would happen, I'd obviously be happy about it, but I would have no idea. That was not at all, I even thought, okay, let's see if I do try to make it there. I thought at most it would take maybe like 6 months or something like that. But the only reason nobody tried it before is because it would be so boring of a journey. But yeah, I really didn't do my research beforehand. I didn't look up any of the math behind the Farlands or the floating point precision or any of that stuff. So it was all just a very I read the article or the blog post from Notch mentioning Farlands, and I'm like, let's try to get there. And here we are, continuing on, and now raising money for Child's Play charity. So much money has been raised over those 4 years, over $250,000 just through Farlands or Bust, helping get toys, books, and games to kids in hospitals around the world. And a generous donation. All the donations are generous, let me just say that, but an exceptionally generous donation came in from an anonymous donor who simply said, no question, simply said, have some new boots. I don't know what that means. Perhaps he wants me to make my diamonds into boots, but I will heed your advice, and perhaps sometime soon I will have some new boots. But let's go to sleep and continue walking in these boots to the Farlands in the morning. And awakeness. Ooh, that was a very dramatic, angry awakeness. Woof indeed. Woof indeed. Let's continue on. Got a question from careful, Wolfie. Uncheckered Crowd. Oh, another creeper. You guys are stepping up your game. Stepping up your game. Well, not so much stepping up your pathfinding, because you didn't have any in this version of the game. But unchecked crowd. Not checkered, checked. Unchecked crowd. Knowing that you're a car enthusiast... let's go with that, but maybe not as enthusiast as some actual enthusiasts. Knowing you're a car enthusiast, have you ever had the desire to own or ride a motorcycle? I got one a few years ago, and to me, at least, it's very fun to ride. If so, what type might you want to try? And he goes off, cruiser, crotch rocket, chopper. Well, yeah, I have heard from people that motorcycles, it's a completely different experience. You are out there and one with the elements, and it is certainly a very pure connection to the road, I suppose you could call it. So yeah, I've been interested. I did, for the first couple years, follow that American Chopper show before it started to become scripted. And don't argue with me, it's scripted now. Is it even still going on? I have no idea. So I kind of got into that stuff, but then not so much. But yeah, I possibly would. I don't know about... I'd have to go back to school, to driver motorcycle school or whatever classes to get a motorcycle license. And that part of it, same thing, I don't know, I must have problem... I have a poor connotation with school and lessons, I suppose. Maybe I don't know where that comes from, but American school system. But even like with flight pilot school, I kind of have the same kind of like, it would be cool to do, but getting through that first hurdle. But yeah, that would be cool. I do like the aesthetic, just like I like rat rods and the old custom cars, hot rods and whatnot. I would probably lend myself to liking more of the bobber style. Not choppers. Choppers are interesting aesthetically, but they don't seem like they are good for too much other than looking cool on the road. Like, they handle like giant forks, obviously, and they're not particularly fast or meant for speed or handling. But yeah, more like a bobber. Like a cafe racer, I think, is another term for like the small, not nothing huge. No Harley Davidson is like a completely different, at least in America. I don't know how much brand penetration they have in other parts of the world, but penetration. Sorry, the funny words. The kind of stripped down. No fancy paint job, kind of the matte black. Same thing that I like about, like I said, the rat rods, the custom cars, the hot rods and stuff. I'd probably go for the same aesthetic in a motorcycle. But yeah, I'm not sure. That'll have to be on not necessarily a bucket list, but like if you have a chance, say if I make some friends, which is another very uncertain thing on the bucket list, but if I make some friends who happen to have motorcycles and stuff, maybe then I'd get into it or something like that. But otherwise, just kind of like a cool, oh, that's aesthetically cool. And I don't understand. Here, let me just preach for a moment. Preach! Hallelujah. I don't understand why people ride motorcycles without helmets. I know in a lot of countries it's the law. It's here in the United States, it's dependent on state law. Certain states require helmets, some don't. I don't know why you would choose not to, because one of the perks of riding a motorcycle is that you can look really cool. You get a really cool helmet. You look like a race car driver or Darth Vader or something. Why would you not wear a helmet? Also, why would you subject your face to bug splatter? But yeah, a lot of cool, like, the old helmets and stuff like that. Not so much into the crotch rocket, the kind of, the rice burners of the motorcycle department. Not so much into those sort of things. The racing is kind of cool to watch sometimes. They, like, get on, like, a 60-degree angle to take a turn, and their like knees are scraping along the ground. It's crazy. But yeah, not so much there, and not so much like dirt bikes, BMX type. That's not the word for it, is it? The autocross type bikes, motocross. That's what it's called. BMX are the bicycles. Yeah, not so much into those either. But yeah, that is a unique question that I don't believe we've had before in 4 years. Our first unique question. No, just kidding. I got another question here. What do you love about other people? Oh, Wolfie, you've taken some spills and chills. What do you love about other people? This is an anonymous question and kind of an open-ended, strange question. I don't know. It's certainly a lot easier to find what I don't love about other people if I could be completely pessimist. It's probably human nature in and of itself. But, ooh. Oh, that didn't go down as far as I thought it would. What do you love about other people? Funny people. I like funny people. People when they're funny. Like, intentionally. People can be funny. Like, well, that guy's funny in other ways, but like intentionally funny people. That's why I like comedy and comedians, comedy movies and TV shows and things. So yeah, people when they're funny is a thumbs up thing to me. Even like on YouTube, people are funny on YouTube. So let's go with that open-ended question. I will close that end. It is now close-ended question. I have a question from Peter and Nikki. This is kind of related. I should have asked this in the last episode. I was talking about YouTube and stuff, being the 4-year anniversary I started YouTube. This is speaking of pessimism. If your YouTube career goes down the pan, what is your plan B, C, and D? Do I look like a guy with a plan? How many times do I gotta say that? Would you go back to do web design or something with art? I honestly have no idea, to be honest. I remember back at the first, or I suppose technically the second Minecon in Paris, I was talking to Seth Bling about this, and we were both just like, yeah, I don't know what we would do. We'd have to like make a resume? How do you put the last 4 years of your life making YouTube videos on a resume? And I'm sure it's feasible, but how do you apply that to anything else that you'd want to do afterwards? I don't know if I'd want to go back to do web design. I would try and hope to find something in gaming, if not promotions, or, you know, being the kind of, you know, using what I've learned here to my advantage, I suppose. I honestly have no idea. There are no, if you think I have a plan C, you are, I don't even have a plan A. This isn't even plan A. Good gravy. Oh, this wasn't even a plan. Whew! I just got done talking about how I'm like, oh, I'm going to go walk to the Farlands, and then I'd be done with it. But here I am, still trying. So, another question from Peter and Nikki, another very optimistic question. If Wolfie was ever to get killed by the glitchy terrain due to the distance from spawn, Would you in time find new Wolfie McWolfington, or would you let it go alone? Well, there have been 2 incidences already where Wolfie has had problems, not at all due to the terrain. Obviously, we're doing fine here. He's taking some damage by glitching into blocks, and mostly leaf blocks, but it was during Flobathons, and it was kind of just save errors. It was, we lost Wolfie when we went on a break, rather permanently, and then we had to... I'm trying to hit these pigs, but they are resisting. Do not resist arrest. Oh, Wolfie! Oh, that was a waste. No positive health gained with that. And then we went back and got him at the beginning of Season 4 with the hidey hole paradox. But then a similar thing happened in the last Flobathon, actually. Many people might not have remembered or realized. But, and I'll have to keep this in mind for the upcoming live stream and Flobathon, is it seems like, since right now, with these episodes, I'm only recording 30 minutes at a time, if you go much longer than that, certainly into an hour, if you don't exit the game and save the world, things get corrupt and then the game freezes and crashes. In this version of the game, I'm not sure if with future versions if that's the case, but in this version of the game, it doesn't save your world to disk, I think, until you actually pause or exit the game. And if you don't do that enough to kind of refresh the memory leaks and whatnot, then you can freeze. And then that happened once during the last Flobathon, and I loaded back up, and Wolfie was gone because it wiped all the entities, or something happened. It overwrote the chunks, or it didn't save the chunks, so we ended up going to a previous save. So yeah, it's going to have to be like, we're going to have to take a 10-minute break every hour to save and back up the world and then start back up again. But speaking of starting back up again, gosh, there's stuff spawning. Let's go to sleep. And awakeness. Awakeness indeed. So it seems a little bit, I don't want to call it precedent, but it seems like non-environment situations where Wolfie comes to harm, that is to say game crashes, weird save issues, it seems precedent that we try to resolve those issues technically with the behind the scenes, not in the game. It would have to be something like us accidentally falling into a lava pool, or falling off a large cliff, or something like that, where we would have to then consider the fact that Wolfie might be lost and think about what to do from there. But that has not happened yet. That has not happened yet, and we will attempt to not let that happen. Obviously, there will possibly become a point where this floating point precision becomes so wacky that he will glitch into blocks, and it will become unfavorable for even other entities as well. But that's a long ways off. We're only maybe 12, well, at last count, 12% of the way to the Farlands, so we've got plenty of time to think of contingency plans for this. On behalf of Bergasms, our friend Bergasms donated to Child's Play charity, but then asked questions on behalf of his friends. This first one, supposedly, from Natalie H. via Bergasms. Natalie was wondering what I think of the color green. The color green. Color green's alright. I don't know, I don't have a favorite color, which I'm sure has been asked before. In the past, I would probably say blue, or something like that. Green is good. Green is good. Green means money. Moolah. Scratch. The old dollar bill. Green is good. I like green colors of cars. I don't wear a lot of green. I own a pair of very bright green New Balance sneakers, but I wear a lot of blue, which is just kind of it's because I wear a lot of jeans and denim, so that's just kind of goes with that. So Green's all right. I'm on speaking terms with green as the color. And then another question via Bergasms, but from Crafted Circle. If you had a year off to study whatever you want, what would you study? A lot of people would probably assume some sort of engineering or space flight. I would probably choose geology. That was the field of study that I oft considered going back to school for when I originally quit my my pre-YouTube job. And it just seems interesting to me. Geology, I could probably go beyond that to planetary geology, which is to say you study the geology and the makeup of non-Earth bodies out there in the solar system, and now the non-solar system, the exo-solar system. So yeah, I'd probably want to study that. 1 year would not be scratching the surface. I would probably get to very basic, Geology 103. So, but yeah, I could see doing that. Let's see here. Thank you very much, Natalie, Crafted Circle, and of course, Bergasms. From JJ. By the way, sidebar, JJ, did you know that your name in Spanish is pronounced? Think about it. JJ asks, I wondered if you know much about the field of quantum mechanics, or if you've ever considered learning a bit about it. Well, if Crafted Circle gives me a year to think about it, maybe I'll study that for a year. Or have you ever considered learning about it a bit? Seeing as you have deep interest in space and the universe. I mean, the most I know about it is probably the... Careful, Wolfie! The short quips and little tidbit facts and little brain twisters that you see in books and mentioned in articles and mentioned briefly on Cosmos, both television series and stuff like that. But the math behind it, the deep understanding of its origins, even is beyond me. Quantum mechanics and whatnot, but it's kind of just one of those things where, oh, this is a superimposed particle thing, and it's just kind of like a weird thought, like, oh, that's weird. I can't wrap my head around that. All right, let's make a sandwich. So not too much, but it is certainly interesting. But that would need more than a single year to study and to even begin to, even scientists don't understand it. They're trying to understand it. It's kind of a bleeding edge type of thing, learning about the origin of our world and the elements and this spawner. Oh man, these underwater spawners. I can't remember if I made any sort of caveat to my rule about exploring spawners that I can or cannot see about underwater ones. But let's see. I've gotten okay at doing this. So let's see what we can do here. With a can-do attitude. Let's grab a bunch of this stuff. Should probably be helpful. And we can also answer question from Servoof. Servoof asks, I'm sorry. Do you have an attraction to a specific old car? Definitely, probably the 57 Chevy. Although lately, because that's so popular of an old car for people to like, I tend to kind of prefer even the 55, which are still, it's probably right there second to the 57. 55 Chevy. I do like, and if I ever go to car shows or whatever, it is really cool to see the Hudson Hornet. Hudson Hornet is just a really cool, it's huge, it's bulbous, but, all the old cars pretty much are, but I think it's really unique of a design. I kind of really just like the logo, the emblem, the Hornet logo, or the Hudson logo is like a rocket. You know, that's really kind of cool. Whoa, there's bad stuff around here still. Oh, I thought that would be where Don't tell me there's no chests here, skeleton guys. I don't think there are. I don't see any other bumps. I need the bumps. Give me the bumps. Oh, no, don't give me the bumps. I've got my bumps vaccination. Just give me the chest. I don't think there is a chest. Cheapskates. Oh, jeez, that scared the crap out of me. Gotta go. Whoa, oh, no. Wolfie, no. Wolfie, no. Wolfie, over here. Wolfie. I'm gonna run away. Yep, there he is. Have a seat. Yeah, I know you're angry. So angry. God, speaking of in-game events. Whoa! I hope that shot him. That would be pretty funny, actually. Ooh. Juke and jive. Get juked and jived upon. Oh, I shot him in the head after he fell. All right, Wolfie, you all right? Yeah, I think he didn't take too much damage. All right, you dang guys, and you're not even gonna give me a thing for it, for my troubles, a chest, some sort of prize. Whew, that was that like I'm sure you saw my mouse cursor jump, but yeah, that scared the bajubas out of me. The bajubas, the bajingles, the bojangles. All right, so we have no chests. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, I think it's time to leave. Is it not? Yeah, there's no chests here. I don't know why I'm continuing to look. Huh. No chests! Yeah. Oh, that's the noise I was hearing, was the old... Alright, well, there's probably 2 chests under those blocks right there, but we're gonna go find out, is actually what I meant to say there. Cheapskates, I say. Cheapskates. Just for that, you get reflooded. Get flooded upon. Get water in your eyes. Here's mud in your eye. Oh, and the sun has fallen upon us. All right, let's get a little bit away from this spawner. Because I don't want to... I've already made them angry. I don't want to further my impending doom. We did lose a heart this episode. But yeah, I think those... Yeah, Hudson Hornet, 55 Chevy. I do have a soft spot for the rotted out kind of, you know, old T-buckets or Model A's or, you know, whatever, the chopped and dropped stuff, but that's not really, I wouldn't consider that a classic car. That's a modified car. That's something different than a stock. I'm taking your question as you're wondering what I think about the stock configuration of an old car. So let's make a little bit of an area here that we can then make the hidey hole here. Wolfie, I know you want to go swimming, but not now. Sit down. Ooh, that was very harmonic of me. Let's dig in here and remind you to go to farlandsrobust.com is where you can go to donate to Child's Play charity. There's a button on the home page, a little tracker that lets you know where we're at with the donations. And all those donations go directly to childsplaycharity.org to help get toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world. And we're coming back with a vengeance here. We've got the return of Formula One with Beef tomorrow. We've got a new series launching Sunday. Ooh. And Twitch Tuesdays, going to be a regular thing, of which I will upload also that archive of the Besiege gameplay. And what else did I want to mention? I forgot. I'm already forgetting things. And, oh yeah, look forward to March 28th. Plan on a not insignificant, but not Flobathon levels live stream for the 4-year anniversary of starting our trek to the Farlands. And I do appreciate everybody holding in with me. I've also, you know, I will soon reveal the few reasons that I've missed The last 2 Wednesdays, I think I missed of Farlands bust, but that's all resolved. But I will soon. The Wu-Tang secret will be revealed. What? And we'll look forward to more awesome stuff happening here. And thank you very much for the support. Like I said, even in these trying times. No, we're fine. But yeah, have a good weekend. Have a good pie day. Eat some pie. I'll have to find some gluten-free pie. To the Whole Foods. Oh, I just stuck my hand up in the air and I forgot that I have a ceiling fan, and that almost was some fingers lost. But yeah, before I cause myself any more bodily injury, my name is Kurt. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. 3.145698763009